What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another TidBit Tuesday. Well, actually, I should say welcome back to the very first TidBit Tuesday, which is also probably not on a Tuesday. I am your host, TheTravelingYam, and if you're unfamiliar with this segment, it's where we take a moment to explore one of the cryptocurrencies currently being sold on the market. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, both to save on time and also just for interest's sake. I don't want this turning into a bore fest where you listen to me speak for an hour or something like that. Just as a quick side note, a lot of the information that I will be referencing, I've gotten from reading the white paper. Now you might be asking yourself, TheTravelingYam, what the hell is a white paper? So a white paper is what cryptocurrencies, or the people who behind the cryptocurrency, or that are developing that particular cryptocurrency, publish in order to allow developers, and I suppose us, investors, a better understanding of what the cryptocurrency is, what it's meant to do, and how you can code for it. So if you kind of scroll down, they have a bunch of coding stuff and AMP token contacts and stuff like that. Now I am not a developer, and so I won't be getting into the nitty-gritty of the development side of things. But what I will be doing is I will be talking about the first maybe 10 pages, which is just kind of explaining what AMP is in general and how it works. So basically, if you're too lazy to read the white paper, I've read the majority of it, and I think I have a pretty good understanding. So you can just kind of come to me and just listen to what I have to say, and then you'll have a better understanding of what AMP is. But before I continue, I am going to say I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research, and you should read the white papers for the cryptocurrencies that you're interested in, just because if you're really serious about it, it's a good way to get a better understanding of what they are. Anyways, okay, so let's move on. So, I guess the first real question is, what is AMP? So, AMP is an E20 compatible decentralized token whose purpose is to act as collateral in order to officiate monetary transactions, oftentimes in a retail setting. Now, you're probably thinking, TheTravelingYam, you just fucking lost me. Decentralized, collateral, retail setting? Alright, okay. Maybe I'll take a step back and I'll try to explain to you the problem that AMP is trying to solve, and then and that will give you a better understanding of how AMP works in terms of solving that problem. So the problem that AMP is trying to solve is the way in which money is sent and received. Now, before I started doing research about AMP in particular, I was really confused. This is what I thought how money was transferred. I thought you had a little terminal like this, and then I thought it went to some card processor like Visa or MasterCard, and then it went to the bank, right? Pretty straightforward. Well, in reality, what the process actually looks like is something far more convoluted and complicated. So now one of the things to keep in mind is that at every one of these junction points, there is an opportunity for fraud, identity theft, and loss to occur. Now with the Flexa Network, so let me back up a little bit. So AMP is a token that is run on the Flexa Network. So what that means is the Flexa Network hosts AMP. So what the token AMP is trying to solve, which is run on the Flexa Network, is it's trying to mitigate and effectively eliminate the middleman. So it's trying to take out this middle process and just have you and then a bank. And there's this 10-step process in the middle, which is represented by this credit card processor, is taken out. Now, what that does is it effectively mitigates the opportunity for loss, fraud, and a bunch of other negatives to occur. Now, the second thing that the Flexa Network is trying to fix is the amount of time it takes for transactions in general to complete and reach what is called economic finality. Economic finality is just essentially trying to say that there is no fraud, there were funds in your account, the process went smoothly. So that's basically the accepted that appears on the terminal. It means that the money has reached where it needs to go and everything is good. Now in the white paper itself, I had to scroll down a little bit to find this, but this is really just on page 3. But due to these complex interdependencies and the prevalence of fraud, the merchant settlement requires an average of 2 days for deposits and 3 to 6 months for dispute finality. So now what the Flexa Network is trying to solve is Rather than having your money move through a long, arduous process with a number of risks associated with it, it can be done instantly between storefront and a customer or between two people at opposite ends of the world. So really the possibilities are endless. Endless. What did I say? Endless? Endless. So now that I've explained what the problems that the Flexa network is trying to solve, this is mainly to avoid this multi-step process here and to cut down on the time it takes for deposits to clear. So like imagine someone needs to send you money, right? Sometimes the bank is closed over the weekend, or sometimes at your bank they don't release the funds to you for a couple days. This will be instant because the AMP network has smart contracts built into it that when the conditions are met, the funds are transferred instantly. So you have basically instant access. Now, in order to explain how the Flexa network / AMP, now that I've explained the problems that the Flexa network and the AMP are trying to solve, let me explain how they actually go about doing it. And this is best done through an example. So let's say, for example, you're a customer at a store and you want to buy a soda pop. Yes, I know I said soda pop. Don't make fun of me. So let's say you make a $2 purchase, right? So this picture, while it's representing something else, is a good way for me to visually represent what I'm trying to get at. So let's say you make a $2 purchase, right? The exact amount of AMP tokens will be collateralized, right? So don't forget, how I define AMPs is a collateralized decentralized token, right? So it'll be collateralized, and what collateralized means it will be held until the purchase reaches the bank. Once the money has basically left from your account to the bank, that equivalent, or that AMP which was collateralized, will be basically released back into the Flexa network in order to facilitate another transaction. Now, one question you may be asking yourself is, where is all this AMP coming from? Well, awesome person who has probably subscribed and hit the like button, I have an answer for you. So let's say you and I buy AMP from Gemini, right? So we've bought AMP from Gemini. It's sitting in our wallet. And we decide that we want to do something called stacking. Now, stacking is where you can earn interest on your AMP, and the way that you earn interest on your AMP is by putting it on the Flexa network. So now remember, the Flexa network is where AMP is held, and the Flexa network is what allows the AMP to be held as collateral to buy and sell things. So here, this is the value amount of AMP that is currently being held on the Flexa network. So this basically tells you the amount of transactions that can currently occur. Now, don't forget, the transactions are quite quick itself. So it's not like this will ever go to zero. An amount of AMP will be collateralized, some amount based off of this, and then it will be released back into the Flexa network for another transaction. And then this just shows you how many AMP are currently in circulation. Now, you might be asking, why should I stake AMP? Why would I put it on the Flexa network? Well, there are two main reasons. One, the larger this number grows, the more transactions that are able to occur. And two, when you stake or stack your AMP, it allows for you to earn interest. I don't know what the exact number is. I think it's like somewhere between, I think it's like 5% annually or something. That if you know that you're going to buy AMP and then hold it for a long time, this is what I would do. I haven't stacked it yet. Maybe I'll make a video. Let me know down below if you want me to make a video on how to stake or stack AMP. It's actually pretty simple. You put it on this network if you know that you're going to hold it for a long time, and then it just grows. It's basically like Gemini Earn, but because I'm in Canada, I don't have access to Gemini Earn. I know, sad face. So I have to stake it. But the problem is staking or stacking, it costs, right now because the gas fees are so high, it's quite expensive to actually put it on the network in order for it to generate interest. Right now, I'm just holding it on my Gemini account in hopes that the gas fees will be low enough for me to transfer. Because I'm a pretty small fish. I only have like maybe I think 3,000 or 4,000 AMP tokens. So it's not worth it for me to stake it quite yet. And when the gas fees get low enough, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be making my money work for me by putting it on the network. So I think that's basically everything that I really wanted to say. Just some closing thoughts. AMP, I think it's set to release around 100 billion tokens, and if you want to learn more, you can go to their official website, and that kind of like AMP 101, and if you want to read the white paper, you can go to the documents, and then you can also watch some YouTube videos. You can also join the Discord if you want. Yeah, and that's basically it. Like, this will tell you basically everything that I have tried to explain to you here today. And if you want, you can access the white paper through the document section. And yeah, there's a YouTube video of a presentation from one of the co-founders. I believe his name is Tyler. It's on the Discord, so if you want to watch someone else also explain it to you, you can go there and check it out. But that's all the time we have for today. I know I ran a little longer than I hoped to, but hopefully with some editing I can cut that time down from 15 minutes to something smaller. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that jazz. Peace!